Pleased to welcome back John Tuccillo, Chief Economist for Florida Realtors. John, everybody wants to know what the best housing strategy is if you're in the market in 2015.
Well, Kurt, we can look at that in a number of ways. First of all, the interest rate environment is going to remain very mild. Interest rates are low now, and I don't think they get up as high as 5% by the end of the year. Now, of course, if they are more than 5%, we'll burn this tape. I never said that.
Okay,
but I'm saying that that's about right.
But that's going to really freak out some people when the headline says mortgage rates up 25% from 4% to 5%.
I never underestimate the capacity of the media to instill fear in people. But I think if you are going to buy a home, lock into a fixed rate mortgage, 10-year, 15, 30-year. It's your best bet. You'll be happy you did. Even if rates don't change, you'll be happy you did. So that's kind of one buying strategy, number one. Number two, if you're an investor, it might be good to start looking at relatively lower priced homes if you can find them. One of the things we're finding is that statewide, the inventory of homes under $250,000 is way low. And that is definitely a seller's market.
There was a lot of cash coming in the last couple of years,
snapping
up underpriced, low-priced homes.
Exactly. Investors buying in bulk, large institutional investors, they're not doing that anymore. So if a single investor comes in, you really should take the time to look for a lower priced home. Don't look for a bargain, because they may not be there. Just look for a lower priced home which you can buy, not do too much to bring it up to the market, and rent it out to a middle class family. And that's really the how should I put it? That's the spot, the niche in the market where investors can really succeed during 2015.
A good return on their money.
Good return on their money, nice solid tenants. It'll work. And as I said, interest rates are low, so you're not going to borrow too much for that. If you are a buyer, stay in your comfort zone. Don't think that just because the market's back, I can now make a killing on this house and I can buy a home for $400,000 and 3 years from now sell it for $600,000 and I will be set up. Ain't gonna happen, okay? Not because it's not gonna go to 600, it might, but because getting out of your comfort zone with that kind of thinking usually has a bad ending.
Okay. So you don't think flippers are going to be coming back?
I think there's a kind of flipper who is coming back, and that's a guy who buys a home for $150,000 that needs a lot of work, puts $100,000 into it, and sells it for $300,000. Okay, a lot of work, a lot of upgrade, modest profit. Not the kind of people who used to have simultaneous closings going on. Right. Buying in one room, selling in the next room right away. So I think that you've got to really do something to a house in order to sell it quickly.
And you have to make sure it's in that price neighborhood.
Yeah, it's got to be consistent with the neighborhood. It's got to be a home that's attractive to people who can afford it. So, and that's where you get into the fixing up and et cetera, et cetera.
Now I get calls all the time. Someone says, Kurt, I want a really good bargain with a foreclosure or something, a short sale. Still around?
Short sales, not so much. We are seeing dramatic drops in short sales from a month-to-month basis. I mean, if I compare, for example, January of 2015 to January of 2014, I'm likely to see 40% fewer short sales in the state of Florida. And if I go back and compare month to month, going back to 2014, those numbers are 50 and 60% less. So short sales are going away. They're very, very hard to find because prices have gone up, and a lot of people now who were underwater are above water. They don't have a reason. They're not a candidate for a short sale.
Who knew they could make a profit?
Absolutely. Foreclosures are still out there and are going to be out there. And I think that looking for foreclosure is not necessarily a futile task, but you've got to be careful. Some foreclosures, which used to be nice when they were foreclosed on, have become decrepit because they've been neglected and empty over time. You've got to be very, very careful what you look at. Buying a foreclosure sight unseen is a no-no. It ain't going to work.
Always good advice. John Tuccillo.
Thank you, Kurt.
Chief Economist,
Good
Florida
to be here.
Realtors.